beautiful trajectory for the evening, because we have some really incredible speakers that are gonna, I think, gonna contribute to some of what just came through for that. So you're in store for some cool things. So next up is actually a dear sister of mine, a beautiful soul who has inspired me in many ways, and many of you probably know her, Nancy Parker. I'd love for you to come up and Nancy and I have been friends for years, and she has always just been an embodiment of just holding so much wisdom. Every time we have a conversation, she just takes us deeper into understanding so many things. And she's very well trained, and she is just full of inspiration. So just a little bit about her. She is the founder of InBody Wisdom and Primal Play. She's also a postural alignment specialist and holistic nutrition specialist. Anything else that I might be forgetting?
Conscious, dance, and fun.
Yeah, she's fun. She's super fun and inspiring. So please just welcome beautiful Nancy Parker.
I know Bert just left, but I would love to acknowledge Bert and also Kara, because for all the other contributions you do to the community, but specifically for their support early on in Ecstatic Dance San Diego, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't still be going on without your help in the beginning. So
great.
Thanks to both of you guys for that. And it's interesting, just last night I was in this room with a whole bunch of women, and we were doing some Kundalini dance to work through our sacral chakra and any emotions and charge it up, and now I'm up here giving a talk. And I'm noticing I'm feeling a little nervous. In spite of giving weekly talks at Rancho La Puerta for years and teaching classes, like, this is a little different energy. I wonder if I can invite you guys to drop in with me. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
So we're going to do one of the techniques I use to help ground my energy called 3 grounding breaths. And basically you're going to breathe in through your nose for a count of 6, hold for 3, breathe out for a count of 6, and hold for 3. So that's the breath, but we're going to do something with our hands while we're at it, okay? So basically you're just going to take one hand and place it right where your nose and upper lip come together, and the other hand on the back of your skull. Check in with your energy to start, how your body is, where your energy is, and now breathe. In through your nose, hold for 3, out through your mouth, hold for 3. We'll do that twice more. Breathing in fully to fully inspire yourself, holding full of that inspiration, and exhaling fully committing yourself to this space in this moment. When you're ready, you can release your hands and open your eyes, and perhaps notice the difference not only in your body, but in the energy in the room. Now, it's just one of 3 grounding breaths. The others, I have a video. If you get on my email list, I'll send you the little video and you can learn the other 2 that kind of complete the process and link up the right and left hemispheres of the brain. So I believe in the power of play to transform strangers into community, to create coherence, and to joyfully inspire collaboration and connection to ourselves, to each other, to the earth, and to something greater than us, the divine, if you will. I also believe that little of this is accessible without a solid foundation of health. Growing up, I was sick as a child, often hospitalized and on antibiotics, and it wasn't until about 15 years ago, fed up with the Western medical system, blinking their eyes and waving me away, telling me, come back when you're really sick and we'll give you a drug, not able to help me with my exhaustion or my depression, that I did my own research, discovered my own food intolerances. This was before functional medicine was a thing, before health food stores knew what gluten was. Right? I figured out what was going on in my own body and set out to really help others on their path to make it easier. I was also incredibly shy, socially awkward. I avoided large crowds and certainly wouldn't be up here. But I used to think something was wrong with me, right? I used to think, oh, I'm just supposed to be a loner. I'm just better off that way. About 6 years ago, a dear friend of mine, some of you know her, Gwendolyn Terra, she kept reflecting to me what an amazing receiver I was. You're such a great receiver. And at the time, I actually resented it because I felt victimized by it. I felt like I was taking on other people's energies without knowing it, unconsciously often, and left to sort it all out, right? But it also helped me to realize, oh, I'm super sensitive. I just feel everything. And from that place of awareness, I could make a choice. And so I learned to question, is this mine? I learned to tune in to my body and listen. I learned to know what it feels like when I'm grounded in my knowingness. But it's really hard to know if you don't know where your home base is. So that's why tools like those 3 grounding breaths and others that I teach my clients and that I practice myself help to keep that grounded. I practice putting myself in the midst of chaos in uncomfortable situations like leading circles and speaking. So all of these life experiences led me to teach. My areas of expertise lie in the alignment and integration of the health of the physical and energetic bodies. Helping people like myself to navigate this modern-day marketplace from a radiant, graceful place. Grounded, aligned, nourished, and deeply connected. Keeping your physical body strong and attuned. Without that, it's impossible. When we can keep our physical body as that foundation of health, we expand the capacity of our vessel to channel more energy so we don't fry our circuitry, right? So we don't burn out. So many of the practices I share, some of them are more of the mystical, magical, and some of them are really practical. Like this. So from right where you are in your chair, place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. And perhaps close your eyes or keep them open, whatever you prefer. And just notice your breath. Notice your breath. Notice which hand moves first and which hand moves more. And without any judgment, just noticing. And now, perhaps sit up taller. Plant both of your feet on the ground if you're in your chair. Feel the crown of your head raise up to the ceiling, your shoulder blades drop and relax. And check in with your breath again. Notice your breath. Did anything shift? Is anything easier? So posture and alignment, they impact our breath, our ability to breathe, basic, foundational, essential of life, right? They also affect our digestion, our elimination, our neck health, right? Whether we're in a nice, calm, relaxed, parasympathetic side of our nervous system or in the stressed, reactive side of our nervous system. So yeah, physical alignment. Over the last 18 years, I've worked with literally more than 20,000 bodies, helping them rebuild their foundational strength through mindful awareness and targeted work in and work out programs to improve the quality of their lives. If you are interested in more of that, also as one of the free gifts you'll receive if you sign up for my email is a full-length posture for performance workshop that I recorded live several years ago. Many of you also know my personal struggle this year with my own issues of alignment, particularly related to my jaw. That started, I can trace it all the way back to birth trauma, being pulled out with forceps, and how that impacted the structure of my skull. And then not being breastfed and learning how to create my palate with my own tongue. Right? So it's been an interesting process that I'm going through myself right now. When I speak about alignment, I'm also speaking about being in alignment with your core values, right? So it goes beyond, transcends and includes just the physical. So we're grounded, we're aligned, both our physical body, our posture. The Primal play classes that I facilitate are cultivated developmental movement patterns to actually realign our nervous system, our muscles, our skeleton, our endocrine system, our lymphatic system in a playful way that mimics our development and reintegrates our brain into now. All in a very playful way set to music. So nourished. So we're grounded, aligned, nourished. Nourished on a cellular, physical level. I mean, the idea that we're all one, right? Yes. And on a very physical, mundane level, we're all very different. If you look around the room, none of us looks the same, right? And just as different as we are on the outside, we are on the inside, right? In the way that we connect, in the way that our body processes food, in the size and shape of our organs and our intestines, right? Dr. Roger Williams, a biochemist, in the 1950s coined the term biochemical individuality. And basically he says, hey, we all react to different foods and different substances different ways. I always like to use the train as a mindfulness moment. Just drop back in. So the tools that I offer for helping to discern what foods fuel your body, how foods make you feel, are an important part of cultivating your inner body wisdom because it's unique for each of us. And it's up to us to decide, and I just guide, right? So there are tools that help relate how you eat, how what you eat makes you feel, not only from an appetite and satiety and cravings level, but from a mental, emotional level and from your energy levels as well. Ways that we don't often relate food impacting us. And when I talk about nourished, I'm also talking about soul food nourishment, right? The things that we need to keep our soul nourished. So above and beyond food. I go into this deeper in my 28-day self-care program, but basically physical activity, healthy relationships, spiritual connection or practice, and a fulfilling career, work, or hobby. So grounded, aligned, nourished, and deeply connected. Connected to each other, but connected also to our inner wisdom, to our intuition. Listening to our inner voice as a guide, not getting caught in habitual patterns, doing something because it's just the way that I do it, or where I go, or how it is. Tuning into that inner voice. What does your inner voice, your inner wise woman or wise man sound like, as opposed to your inner critic? And how can you discern the difference? How can you cultivate high-resolution discernment to start to know when you're bumping up against your own resistance, like me wanting to back out doing this talk, right? Knowing that it was just my fear and I need to step into the discomfort. Right? My intuition knew that, but my rational brain was having a field day, let me tell you, right? Or when it's really, so how do you cultivate that discernment? Cultivating that inner listening. And I suggest you start with simple things, things that aren't really life-shatteringly impactful, like what supplements do my body want today? How many or how much of those does my body want today? Body, what would you like to eat right now? Would you like the Havana bowl or a smoothie? Havana bowl. Oh. Learning to listen to what yes feels like in your body and what no feels like in your body and how it shows up. So these are some of the tools and gifts and lessons that I've learned and that I share. Alignment is key to our vitality. So I'll leave you with this one thought. How good does it feel when someone is fully present and attuned with you in the moment? Why not give that to ourselves?